In the headlines, tensions in Jos as battle for assembly seats continue between APC and PDP members. CBN governor warns Nigeria of rising national debt. After meeting with Kano State Governor, Sheikh Dauda returns as Hisbah commander. On the foreign scene, 2 dead as planes collide in Nairobi National Park. Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Plateau State, where in response to potential security threats, the Plateau State Police Command has taken measures to enhance security around the State House of Assembly complex in Jos. Cordoning off the road leading to the complex, the police aim to prevent any potential breakdown of law and order in the state. DSP Alabo Alfred, the spokesperson for the State Police Command, confirmed the heightened security presence, indicating its purpose of maintaining public order. When questioned about the specific reasons for the security measures, the DSP highlighted the growing security challenges and suggested and awaiting upcoming press statement to give further details to members of the press. At the State Assembly Complex Gate along John Samchi Road, supporters of both the sacked 16 PDP lawmakers and the All Progressive Congress lawmakers yet to be sworn in gathered. Among them, tensions rose amid rumors that yet to be sworn in APC members were planning to impeach the Speaker, prompting heightened security measures. Well, let's get some more insight now. Joining us via phone is Trust TV's Ado Musa. Ado, thank you so much for joining us. Take us through the events of the day and what more we've learned about some of these security measures and political developments.
Just like what you have just said, following an allege by the PDP supporters who claimed that there was an attempt by the APC, that's the 7 APC lawmakers, to converge at the assembly today and probably to swear in the 16 APC and LP members who were declared winner by the appeal court. The PDP supporters since yesterday, that is according to a source, that they have also converged at the assembly to ensure that these 7 lawmakers who are of the All Progressive Congress are not allowed to go into the House to either swear in the new APC lawmakers or to even impeach the Speaker, that is Gabriel Dewan. So this is how the whole thing started. The APC were very angry, that is the APC lawmakers, and that was why, according to some sources, that they have taken that decision, that is to go into the House even without the Speaker, that is to resume, and then probably to swear in the new APC lawmakers.
Right.
But because of what has happened this morning, none of the 16 lawmakers or the 7 APC lawmakers was present at the assembly. So this is how the whole thing started. But the security personnel, especially the police, have already taken over the assembly. That is to control the situation.
Yeah. Where are we with the inauguration of the APC lawmakers that were the victors in the appeal court case that led to the sack of the 16 PDP lawmakers? What is the Speaker saying about their swearing into office?
On the 24th of January, if you could recall, when the House resumed, the Speaker came out to address journalists and said that the reason why he would not swear in the 16 APC and LP lawmakers was because he was in the receipt of court process. That was according to him. And that was why he will not be able to swear them until the termination of the court case filed by the 16 PDP lawmakers. So that was the reason he gave them. And since then, there hasn't been any sitting by the assembly. Right. So that was why the APC probably, according to a source, felt that this person has been maybe playing the card of the governor. So for that reason, they have to just take that decision But if not because of what has happened this morning, that is according to him. So probably they would have found themselves into the house and then possibly to swear in the 16 lawmakers. And if you could recall again, even last week, that is last week Tuesday, the same appeal court also dismissed a motion filed by the 16 or the 16 PDP lawmakers when they attempted or when they now asked the court to review the judgment against them, that is sometimes in November 2023. Right. And if you could call, they also slammed about 128 million naira against them for seeking the review of the judgment.
Right. Okay, and finally, let's talk about the state government and its role in trying to lower this political temperature in Plateau State. How would you describe the involvement of the state government in this unrest?
You know, there has been a kind of allegation, even though the state government is yet to say anything about the whole thing, but the APC in particular has been accusing the state government and the speaker as well of playing a kind of or acting the card of the governor. That is the decision not to swear in the sitting APC and LP lawmakers, the closing of the house, and other decisions taken by the speaker. They are alleging that it is the governor that now giving this directive, that is to the speaker not to allow the APC or the new APC to go into the house. Probably because the moment he gets or they get into the house, the speaker may be impeached, because if you look at the number of the lawmakers at the moment, if these 15 APC lawmakers and LP are allowed to go in, the APC will have 23 lawmakers, while the YPP will have 1. That is to make it 24. So there is this fear that the moment you go into the house, there is likelihood that they will impeach the speaker, and again, they may make the government uncomfortable for the governor. So that has been the fear, according to, that is, some sources from the APC. Okay.
Adam Musa, we're going to have to leave it here for now, and we will continue following these developments in Plateau State. Thank you so much for the update. Moving on to some other developments of the day now, let's head over to the National Assembly, where the Nigerian Senate could not hold its sessions as scheduled on Tuesday due to power outage by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. The empty and dark chamber of the Upper Legislative House echoes the current trend of power shortages across the country. It is not unusual for power supply to be cut from the National Assembly. In a viral video posted online, Tuesday's plenary was yet to start at mid-afternoon on Tuesday. Now, the central bank governor, Olayemi Cardoso, has issued a warning to Nigeria and other developing nations regarding the risks associated with debt accumulation, cautioning that unchecked debt levels could impede economic growth and prosperity. Despite acknowledging the stable situation in Nigeria, Cardoso highlighted the near-term risk posed by unfavorable global market conditions and the increased debt burden resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Many experts have attributed Nigeria's economic challenges in part to accumulated debts that have not translated into meaningful development. Despite this, Nigeria continues to allocate substantial funds to service both local and foreign debts, with borrowing persisting at both national and state levels. Cardoso revealed that a recent assessment of Nigeria's sovereign stress risk by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund classified Nigeria's risk level as moderate. The CBN governor made these remarks during the opening of a regional training on medium-term debt strategy for debt organized by the World Bank, IMF, and West Africa Institute for Financial and Economic Management in Abuja. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has indicted banks of being linked to about 70% of the financial crimes in Nigeria. EFCC's chairman, Ola Olukayode, disclosed this while speaking in Abuja at the 2023 annual retreat and general meeting of the Association of Chief Audit Executives of Banks in Nigeria. He pointed out that the banking sector was increasingly becoming a cesspool of fraudulent activities, and this had been raising considerable challenges and concerns to the Commission. Olukayode, who was represented by the Director, Internal Audit, EFCC, Idowu Akpejoye, says there was a need for concerted effort by relevant authorities and professionals, especially audit executives, to prevent and tackle issues of fraudulent practices in the sector. The EFCC boss stated that in order to curb the anomalies, the association should ensure proper reconciliation of accounts every month in accordance with accounting requirements. He charged the association to monitor the financial activities of banks, comparing actual and budgeted revenues with expenses, carry out periodical review checks, among many other measures. Now, the organized private sector has sounded the alarm over the escalating trend of looting targeted trucks transporting food and essential raw materials, cautioning that such acts could potentially trigger a shutdown of industries nationwide. Members of the organized private sector voiced their concern on Monday, highlighting recent incidents where suspected hoodlums attacked trucks ferrying building materials and spaghetti in Ogun and Kaduna states. These attacks have become increasingly common amid the backdrop of soaring food inflation and escalating living costs in Nigeria, prompting fears of dire consequences for businesses and the Nigerian economy at large. The dire situation has prompted the federal government to announce plans to commence the distribution of free grains to states this week in a bid to alleviate the growing food crisis. However, the onslaught on trucks and warehouses predominantly owned by manufacturers and other members of the organized private sector continues unabated. Recent incidents in the looting of food items from trucks stranded along the Kaduna Road in Niger State and the plundering of warehouses belonging to the Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat in Dede area of Abuja, where rice, grains, and other relief items were carted away by residents. In other news, a Lagos-based lawyer, Olukayo Ogungbeje, filed a 10 billion naira suit in the Federal High Court in Lagos against the Nigeria Communications Commission and its Executive Vice Chairman and CEO, Aminu Maida, for alleged inconvenience, discomfort, injury, and loss of business opportunities due to the blocking of lines not linked to the National Identification Number. In the suit, the lawyer sought an order compelling the respondents to issue a public apology to the applicant and other affected Nigerians. Additionally, respondents include MTN Nigeria Communications PLC, Airtel Networks Nigeria, Globacom Limited, and Emerging Markets Telecommunications Services Limited. On February 22, 2024, the court granted an order restraining the respondents from barring, deactivating, or restricting any phone lines and SIM cards of the applicant and other Nigerians across the country. Now, as a result of increased public outcry over alleged illicit activities involving point-of-sale machine operators and certain police officers within the system, the Nigeria Police Force has reinforced its ban on the use of POS machines and other electronic mobile money transaction devices within police stations and other facilities nationwide. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, says the ban is aimed at safeguarding the integrity and security of police operations while curbing corrupt practices and maintaining discipline within the force. The statement added that despite previous directives, some commands and formations have continued to flout the regulation, prompting a stern warning from the Inspector General of Police of severe sanctions on the leadership of non-compliant units. The Inspector General of Police emphasized the risk associated with using electronic payment devices within police facilities, including the potential compromise of sensitive information, financial irregularities, and facilitation of illicit activities. The Inspector General of Police said any police officer or PS operator found contravening the ban or engaging in illicit financial transactions will face the appropriate disciplinary actions. Elsewhere, the Commandant General of the Kano State Hisbah Board, Sheikh Ibrahim Daurawa has reconciled with Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the state and is set to resume his position. Despite publicly announcing his resignation via social media, Daurawa had not formally submitted a written resignation to the appropriate authority. However, on Monday night, Daurawa met with the governor accompanied by respected personalities. Following the meeting, it was agreed that Daurawa would return to his position, with his resumption scheduled for Tuesday, according to government sources. The Kano State government had actively sought to bring Daurawa back to his role, deploying a delegation of influential Islamic clerics and sending prominent figures such as the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly and the Chief Imam of the National Mosque, Abuja, to persuade him to return to his position. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf had previously criticized the approach of the board's operation aimed at combating immorality in the state. This is Trust News Update, still to come. As temperatures continue to rise across most parts of the country, health experts caution members of the public on the best way to prevent ailments. More on this and many other stories coming up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Let's take another look at the top stories. Tensions in Jos, Plateau State as battle for state assembly seats continue between APC and PDP members. CBN governor warns of rising national debt. Moving on, the Borno State government has reiterated its commitment to enhancing agricultural production in resettled communities across the state. This commitment was emphasized by the Commissioner for Agriculture, who represented Governor Zulum at the Victim Support Fund flag-off ceremony for the distribution of farming inputs to farmers in Gamborungala and Izge local government area of the state. Now, the Commissioner highlighted that the state's 25-year strategic development plan and 10-year transformative framework are geared towards fostering the resilience of Borno people in agriculture, especially with the return of peace to the affected communities. He assured farmers of ongoing support from the state government, emphasizing their importance in driving agricultural growth in the state. During the distribution, over 3,000 dry season farmers were provided with essential farming inputs such as fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, and other improved seeds, aiming to boost agricultural productivity and the livelihoods of resettled communities across the areas.
Experience in the last rainy season, whereby there are change in rainfall patterns, whereby it causes wilting in crops and thereby having a low yield harvest. So we hope and pray this intervention will definitely be a success. From Gamborungala, we have also proposed Wulgo and Dambore, whereby funds are already released. Any moment we are going to mobilize to site. We are having in Domane, Dikwa, Mafa, and we are having drip irrigation system installation ongoing in Magumeri.
In Gala, what makes it also wonderful is it's a commercial hub. And you can see the commercial nerve of the community has also started coming back. So one is extremely delighted. Now, in Nigeria, we cannot depend on only rain-fed farming. Dry season farming has also become very necessary. And we have also targeted dry season farming. And the way we do it in the Victim Support Fund is we don't just give farm inputs and go. For example, we've been working on this project since 2023. And what we have done is we have trained extension workers, even before today, that are working with the farmers to help them, teach them new methods of farming and to help them to grow their crops.
Now, as temperatures continue to rise across most parts of Nigeria, health experts are cautioning citizens to take precautionary measures to prevent ailments. Trust TV's Jimmy Azande spoke to a health expert and residents across Makurdi, the Benue State capital, who echoed concerns about the unusual intense heat this time of the year. His report.
As early March sets in, locals report feeling the heat wave's impact, bringing discomfort to their families. The situation is exacerbated by the near absence of electricity supply from the Jos Electricity Distribution Company.
We normally sleep outside, we stay outside till maybe early hours of the following day that we bash into our rooms because of the heat. And you can see what is happening around us in Makurdi here. Mosquitoes are everywhere. And because of this unusual heat we witness in the state, I can tell you 1 or 2 of my children are being in the hospital.
This thing is killing. It can hasten one to his death. It can make one to die earlier than he would have died if this had not taken place. What I experienced is what I know. If you are suffering from a kind of you have some health challenges, it will push you to your death immediately. This is very unfair.
Though residents recognize the impact of climate change on their surroundings, they lament the decline in the tradition of planting trees around residential areas. This loss has worsened the heat wave in Makurdi and its surroundings.
The issue of River Benue, as we're in the terrain that we are here, the issue of River Benue is causing us this serious heat because of the coastal area. Because when a river passes by like the River Benue, it generates a lot of heat. Then those trees that we plant, the mango trees and other trees that we plant around, they help us. But as the occupation of the people, the inhabitants, the people who increase number, the overcrowdedness also contributes for the heat here in the metropolis.
Sunday Abul, a health expert, highlights some tips that can help minimize the effect of rising temperatures.
Usually come along with some health challenges, such as meningitis and some other ones like chickenpox and measles. And the only way to do away with or to prevent such disease attack is by rehydrating yourself all the time and preventing yourself from being directly under the sun rays for a long period of time.
To cope with the intense heat wave, many residents gather under trees to seek shade during the day. At night, some opt to sleep outdoors for better ventilation and relief from the oppressive heat. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Looking at developments on the international scene, 2 planes collided at Nairobi's National Park on Tuesday, resulting in at least 2 fatalities, while 44 others managed to escape unharmed. The incident involved a Dash 8 aircraft owned by Safari Link, which was bound for Diani with 44 passengers and crew members on board, and a Cessna plane engaged in training sessions carrying 2 individuals. While the Cessna crashed in the park, the Dash 8 safely returned and landed back at Wilson Airport. Both planes had departed from Wilson Airport prior to the collision, according to officials who confirmed the development. Safari Link Aviation, the operator of Dash 8 aircraft, confirmed the incident and assured that none of their passengers were injured in the incident. They reported that shortly after takeoff, their flight experienced a loud noise, prompting the crew to return to Nairobi Wilson Airport for further assessment. The aircraft landed safely without any casualty reported. Safari Link Aviation also stated that relevant authorities have been notified and are cooperating in the investigation into the incident. Well, that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. We'll be back with more. But for now, follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more of our news and documentary content. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.